Listen. This movie has one of the cringiest scenes of the year.
I'm listening.
So Beautiful Disaster is another one of those Wattpad type novels that comes from the same company that did the After series. And this one already has 3 novels, 6 spin-offs. Like, they're bound to have their endgame with all of them combining. Because honestly, this one feels like the greatest hit so far, as it's putting all of the goofy movies that we've covered into one.
Okay, I mean, you're acting like the kissing booth over here.
Hey, baby girl.
Hell, they're even watching After.
Hey, honey, good to see you. How you been? Fucking Trevor! Oh my god.
If you thought the previous ones were a little too on the nose, this one takes the whole kitchen sink. So if you're a sucker for these cringe watches the same way that I am and just can't look away, then let me explain.
That's just cringe, but I'm a cringe man, so...
So the cinematic universe begins with some flashes to Abby's past, who's played by Virginia Gardner, who was in the movie Fall, which I really liked, and her element did so well for that. It reached such big heights. It was the first time a studio reached out to thank us. Regardless of her secret past, Abby's not going to a Christian college, making this more of a pure flicks than a passion flicks. That is, until she gets invited to an underground fight club.
Hey, we don't talk about the circle, it's a secret.
What's a secret?
Exactly.
Here, they're so good at hitting, they can't even land a punch without getting a cut, and that's where she meets Dylan and lays hands on him first. Previously, we saw Sprouse playing Trevor, and I was here playing a travesty. Did he just noise cancel her with his chest? He wins this fight, and after they collide, he pulls that major luck finger trick since he splashed blood all over her sweater, and immediately she falls for this super bad boy.
I ruin a lot of sweaters.
She dreams about his face and the stunt double's abs as she's stalking him in class while he's stalking her. And personally, I don't know about hanging out with a guy who's hitting you with a combo pack the second time you meet him. After going on a non-date, she keeps thinking about him in the shower but can't sploosh without running water, so she moves in with her roommate, which is a titanic mistake because she ends up catching Travis staying there with one of his French girls. After stiff-arming a strawberry in her face, he offers up his bed and the CVS pharmacy that he has in his drawer.
This a yo-yo?
No.
After knocking out to a full moon, she wakes up in an arcade where she's playing with his Pac-Man. This girl's picking up more planks in Home Depot. She's on D+ watching reruns of Sweet Life on Dick.
Travis Maddox, you can keep knocking, but I am not gonna answer that door.
Ma'am, you already tapped on his wood. She comes across another dude on campus named Parker, who she parked a frisbee in. And since he now has bigger balls than Bo, he decides to ask her out.
Oh wow, a modern interpretation. I love Shakespeare.
After a nice meal with her Italian stallion, she ends up at another ring where they're just reenacting Rocky IV.
I must break you.
Go for it.
Poor girl thought she was going to the Steppenwolf, ended up at another octagon. Abby thinks she's all that though, so she makes a bet that if she wins, he can't have sex for 3 months, but if he does, then they have to get married. Become a slave for 30 days.
Pack your bags, pigeon! You're coming home with me!
Parker then drops all chances of being her spouse because he's just too afraid of a Sprouse. And before the 30-minute mark, they've already slept together twice. I just gotta comment on the music at this point because the score is just so ridiculous. There will be random meowing in the background for absolutely no reason. There's like lullaby music playing in case you knock out with them. But the Nintendo shopping music coming out of nowhere just threw me out. Like, I know he's always playing with his Wii, but bruh. After a montage of their 30 days and 30 nights, Travis takes Abby to visit his family, where we find out that his dad is actually Abraham, which explains why his kids are all walking brain dead.
Call me a bitch again, huh? Bitch.
Abby, these are the moron twins, Tyler and Taylor.
They throw their bones at her during dinner, meaning it runs in the family, as they put all their cards on the table and get Abby to reveal who she really is.
You just got hustled, bro.
Well, no, it's only hustling if I keep your money.
Turns out she was her daddy's little rain girl, as she gives the LME on her life, explaining how they used to make money at casinos playing poker, even though she was underage, until one day she became a runaway.
Wait!
And she keeps running away from Travis. Since he couldn't get hers, he goes to get another kitty after finding text messages from her dad, who he thought was some rando, causing her to get really peeved and dip again. That's when he surprises her with an almost birthday party, and in the book they say they lay 15 shots out for her and bet her $19 for every shot she takes.
I don't bet.
And she cleans house. Now, according to my math, $19 for 15 shots equals a beautiful disaster. Now, the movie's loaded with more ads than a YouTube video, but the one they did a reverse PSA on is this condom bit, because you should never rip.
Is it in?
Is it in?
That said, this video is actually brought to you by ConsentDate.com, which you can download by typing London Tipton in the comments.
Our director, Roger, has made a cut for my dad to watch without all of the intimate scenes. Yeah, my dad has like a PG cut that he's gonna see. Yeah.
So, it's a short film? After going Downton Abbey, the movie turns into a drama. And I was just surprised to hear that they have multiple versions of this movie, because they actually shot it as if it was different genres.
There was a lot of freedom, and the way we sort of did the whole film was because at the time we did not know what the tone of the movie was gonna be. There was a version that was a broad comedy, which is the closest to the version that you see. There was a version that felt more like a drama. There was a version that felt more grounded and natural. So we did takes of every single scene. We do the biggest comedic version, bring it down a little bit, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. So there's probably like 6 different movies that could have been made out of what we got.
So the tones are all over the place, that it goes from being goofy to just like a cringe compilation. You know, she'll be on her way to school as she tries to surf on this man's waves only to wipe out. Like, there'll be a bunch of sexual references for absolutely no reason. There'll be this guy prepping his protein like a shake weight, and everyone's just being so flirty and sexual with her.
You should put some ice on your balls.
You should put some ice on my balls.
And now you're here dressed like that with your titties hanging out.
But you're not hanging out. This is a tasteful amount of cleavage.
Yeah, well, they're distracting me.
Abby, babe, it's Dad.
Daddy's bets eventually come back to haunt her, and there's just not enough money in the mattress to cover it.
This might sound weird, but I'm gonna need you to come with me.
Yeah, no.
They pretend to film in Las Vegas when it's really Bulgaria, not the Bellagio. Abby then goes to the strip and meets her dad at the club, who's getting harassed by a country club goon wearing the latest spring sporting good lineup from Dick's, and she's back at her Casino Royale. After winning $100K faster than you can say Texas Hold'em, they take away her chips because she's not 21 and can't play 21. And that's when she phones Travis for help, who offers to fight for money and for her, because if her hands couldn't do it, then his will. In this movie, she's here to face her past, and he's just here to kick some ass.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, she's dead, so you can't.
Her grilled cheese was just that good.
Wow. She's dead.
Shut up.
Yes, I'm aware. You've said that twice now. You said that already.
And double dip lines before double dipping her.
Travis puts Abby on the sink, and the sink just collapses, and that wasn't supposed to happen. The sink was supposed to stay there. But on the day the sink broke, and it made it in the film and was a really funny moment.
They go back to their room to lock, stock, and smoke each other's barrels and bust through it like the Kool-Aid Man. Like, Travis is doing more rounds with Abby than he did all the other dudes in this movie. They destroy this place so bad, Mr. Mosby would be upset.
Think he noticed?
He noticed.
After having their sparks fly, Abby rushes to stop his fight by causing a full-out electrical fire because she realizes that her dad's a sleazeball who was setting her up to take all of her money, something the author went through too.
And about 2 weeks after we closed, I realized that my husband was moving money into an account that I didn't know about. And then a few weeks later, he took my plane down to Midland, Texas, and that led me to the girl he'd been seeing, which is probably where the money was going. But
in the end, they escape the fight before it becomes Rocky 5 in the streets. They end up with the $100K from poker and even some Casamigos before giving us some hangover credits that lead to their beautiful wedding. Then I find out they've already filmed the sequel and are editing it.
I was in post on Beautiful Disaster, and the studio came into my office and they said, we need to write a script in like 5-6 weeks. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this hasn't come out yet.
Thank you all for watching this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And a big thanks to the patrons and all the channel members. We've got these upcoming live streams that we're going to be working on to get a monthly watch list, as well as a bunch of other streams that we're going to be doing. But I'm just curious, did they not vub him in this scene?
That'll be a disaster.
I swear it sounds like they did that, because these movies are so goofy. Like, they wouldn't even be able to get into their own fictional movie festivals that they mention. I don't even know how they make money at this point, but I also don't think that's the point of these movies.
If you're looking for Economics 101, you are in the wrong fucking place.
I'm curious to know what other ones y'all would recommend that are super goofy movies that I should check out for some LMEs, because after doing some research on this one, especially on the author, turns out she was like running for politics in Oklahoma before getting disqualified. I went through like this whole rabbit hole on her daughter's TikTok and her calling her out.
Photoshopped that was photoshopped.
So yeah, it turns out her life may be cringier than the movie. That said, keep watching good movies, and until next time, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and stream Poker Face, because that one's actually pretty great.